I'm talking with Rich Welsh, CEO of Sundog, and also the curator and head of the Future of Cinema conference here at NAB. And one of the really important things that happened at that conference over the weekend was a preview, a 10 or 11 minute clip of Ang Lee's new movie, Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk. Tell us why that was so special.
Well, this is the first time an audience has got to see the format that Ang Lee shot this movie in, or is shooting this movie in. And as you say, it wasn't quite finished, so there's some work to be done on it. But the format that was both shot and displayed in was 120 frames per second, 4K 3D. So that's 120 per eye. And it was also screened at high brightness. This is the first time an audience has seen any content like this in a cinema environment, shot natively like that, and screened to them natively.
And as most people noticed and said, it didn't look like cinema that we're used to at 24 frames per second, which we're so used to for the last 100 years. This is really a new paradigm.
Yeah, it absolutely is a different experience. You know, the things that we love about 24 frames per second are actually its failings, you know, the motion judder. They're things that are limitations of the technology and the format. This 120 frame footage is like nothing you've seen. Like nothing you've seen. The 3D is so smooth. In fact, we talked to the audience about the 3D afterwards, and there was a 100% agreement that even people who don't like 3D liked it at in this format. But it's more than just that technical improvement. This was creating an emotional bond to the content and a deep physiological reaction to it as well. It was a particularly frightening sequence from a war movie, and it really shook the audience.
It certainly shook me, and I know many other people. Ang Lee in his keynote talked about how shooting at that high frame rate actually increases the emotional involvement or the emotional impact of the footage on the audience.
Yeah, and that comes as many different functions of the format. One of them is just that we're presented with something where we don't really see any of these failings of motion rendition in the image. But there's another factor, which is that it's so clear and crisp. You can see the actors acting. You know, the actors have to be totally convincing, because it's like me talking to you now. I can see everything happening in your eyes. I can read whether you're lying to me or not, and you know, I know you're not. But my connection to you now, you know, which is a very real one, you get that in the picture on the screen. It's incredible, and it changes how filmmakers have to think about how they work.
I mean, it's amazing. He said that we had to relearn how to make movies. We don't know anything. We're having to learn it again as we go along.
He said it reminded him of, he feels like a child, and it reminds him of when he started making movies and he knew nothing. And he said, I know nothing about this. I don't know how to do this. I'm learning now. And we all need to learn. His whole crew needs to learn how to do this. It is genuinely a step change in the experience. I believe in this, actually. I think this is the future of cinema. It genuinely is. But it's going to take a lot of work, you know, not only in learning how to use that format and the things that we have to change, like lighting, makeup, props, you know, backgrounds, everything that we work on that we know about film has to kind of go out the window and start again. But also, you know, theatres to play it. That's a major limitation. We don't have anywhere that can really display this unless we build it from scratch at the moment.
Well, I hope more people get to see what I saw in the whole movie, which is going to be just incredible.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. I mean, we were very privileged to get something very early on this, but it's clear there's going to be, it's going to be yet more impressive experience when the movie's finally done.
When's it expected to come out?
It comes out on Veterans Day. Of course. So yeah, it's later this year in the autumn and the fall, so we're really looking forward to that. It's going to be we had a historic moment in cinema this weekend, and the release of that movie, I think, is going to be a watershed moment in the experience.
Well, like you, I can't wait. Thanks so much.
No worries. Thank you.